watching. I see everything.
There's your pep talk.
So that's it? What, we some kind of suicide squad?
I'll notify your next of kin.
Well, let's face it. A lot of people were thinking the big comic book movie of the year was going to be Batman v Superman. That disappointed some when it came out in the spring. But really, I've got news for you. Ever since then, the most anticipated DC comic book movie adaptation is unquestionably Suicide Squad, which is finally upon us. And does it work? Yeah, it works pretty well. I love the premise of this movie. They are all bad villains, and they're all banding together. This is a movie of villains and no heroes, or as they like to say in the ad lines here, the worst heroes ever. These are bad asses brought together out of the Belle Reve Federal Penitentiary to take on a mission that is suicidal. Now, the Joker here is played by Jared Leto, the Oscar winner from Dallas Buyers Club, and he's got big shoes to fill when you consider that people like Jack Nicholson have taken on this role, and Heath Ledger won an Oscar for it in The Dark Knight. Well, Jared Leto does not attempt to be a Joker like those Jokers. He's far more psychotic, if you can believe, and he really has an edge to him. The rest of the movie really is taken up with this ragtag crew of bad, despicable, unmanageable, insufferable prisoners who Amanda Waller, played by Viola Davis, has decided to bring together to pull this off. And she is as badass as these guys are. This is one tough cookie. Working for the government, she's determined what does she have to lose.
Complete the mission, you get time off your prison sentence. Fail the mission, you die. Anything happens to Colonel Flagg, I'll kill every single one of you.
But it's actually a brilliant idea, but she's at odds with Rick Flagg, played by Joel Kinnaman, who thinks that the Navy SEALs could do better than this group. So he's constantly fighting this idea, but he has to deal with this group, and I love the interaction between them. Will Smith is the titular leader of the gang, but this is more ensemble than most Will Smith movies. He plays Deadshot, and he does a good job, but totally upstaged by Margot Robbie, who steals this movie lock, stock, and barrel as the equally psychotic to the Joker, Harley Quinn.
What was that? I should kill everyone and escape? Sorry.
She is a trip. There's nothing she won't do. It's a great performance. She's got comic timing and very, very adept at this kind of thing. Writer-director David Ayer, who has done some terrific films. I'm a big fan of Fury. I'm a big fan of End of Watch. And he wrote Training Day as well as directing those two films. He's brought a dark edge that those movies would indicate that he probably would to this, but it seems to work here. It's got all the darkness of the recent DC comic book adaptations. They seem to have lost their feel for lightness. This is not Guardians of the Galaxy fun stuff, I'm afraid. This is a much more violent, darker thing, even though it's only rated PG-13.
Behold the voice of God.
I love Viola Davis in this movie. She really turns this character into her own. It does have its slow points, and it does get repetitive at times. I will forgive it that. It's also got some surprises. I'm not going to totally spoil it here, but stay through the end credits because it's not over till it's over, folks. And if you leave the minute you see the first credit roll, you are going to be very, very sorry.
That's a good idea, honey.
This movie is for comic book fans, Suicide Squad fans, fans of badass villains all banding together to make a fun time at the movies. I say, go.